Adam, welcome.
Thank you all. How are y'all doing today?
Hey Adam, how are you? First of all, thank you for showing up. I know you're at the airport traveling. You know, I mean, we tried to set this up for the last couple of weeks, and really much appreciated that you showed up. We're gonna try to do this fast and get you out of here, but
Sure.
you have you as much time as you want. You know, obviously we'll have some questions. From our viewers. If we do, then we'll just direct them to you via email or now. So, introduce yourself a little bit, what you did before, and about InDrive. Talk a little bit about the company in general.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey everybody, my name's Adam Warner. I'm currently running operations for InDrive and bringing this new rideshare model here to the United States. So we're excited to be here. Previous to coming here, I did work for Lyft for almost 5 years before. So I know your viewers out there have many questions, but have been in the rideshare space for quite a long time. And so looking forward to bringing something new and really taking what I've learned from my previous experiences to bring something new and exciting to the United States. So really excited.
Yeah. So how many countries is InDrive in at the moment?
Yeah, so currently InDrive is the world's most downloaded, the second most downloaded rideshare app, and operates in more than 655 cities in 48 countries right now.
Wow. Okay. So, what made you guys decide specifically Miami and specifically now? I mean, look, we're a rideshare channel, obviously. We speak to thousands of drivers. Obviously there are some people who are happy doing what they're doing, but the trend over the last, as you know, from Lyft as well, the trend over the last decade for the drivers has not been their friend as far as earnings are concerned, right? So there is always this just thought that, well, what if somebody stepped up? What if somebody did that? And all the drivers say that, but to us, the important thing is, getting the drivers is easy. Getting the passengers, getting enough density to keep those drivers busy, like Uber and Lyft has done, is a really, really difficult thing to do. So, please talk a little bit about that, what you guys are doing when it comes to creating demand and obviously signing up drivers.
Yeah, like you said, I do think that getting drivers and getting somebody excited about a new earning potential opportunity, right? People in this space, we want to be able to provide as many opportunities for those drivers to make it happen and live the lives that they want to live. For us in Miami specifically, we are in all over the world, like we stated at the beginning. Some of our largest markets are Mexico, Colombia, Brazil, all through kind of our Latin American communities. And so with the diverse and beautiful population that currently resides in Miami, a lot of the drivers and passengers, like you're talking about that demand, have used us in countries all around the world. And so it's kind of like a really interesting connection to bring this to the marketplace through that experience of people who've used our product before. And so by that alone, we're kind of driving that word of mouth through the South Florida area to help us continue to grow and learn about whether or not does this bidding process that we'll talk about, will it work in the United States? And so we're learning a lot so far.
Yeah, I mean, we can actually tell you that I've had so much interest in emails, but a couple or three of our viewers who are in the chat at the moment that I see have already applied to drive for InDrive, and actually one of them just got finished with his background check. Look, we're all rideshare drivers. We complain about everything, okay? So they all go like, "Oh my God, this is taking so long. The background check." Blah, blah. I'm like, "Look, you have to get used to that." But I'm sure you're used to that from Lyft days, right? Because even when we make money, we complain. We don't make money, we complain. We just complain, okay? But so. How many drivers did you sign up so far in Miami? And are there any glitches as far as the app or the sign-up process?
So what I'll tell you is like we kind of had like an individual goal of just having a few thousand drivers kind of at launch. We're definitely pushing over around 10,000 drivers right now in South Florida. So exceeding my expectations at this point in time. So I think the process is going smooth. We're still learning. There's a lot more rules and regulations when it comes to having a TNC license here in the United States. And so as we're kind of teaching this world brand, what does it take to be here in the United States? We're going through those processes. I am seeing the feedback from the drivers who are signing up, where the background check isn't taking too long. So we're definitely working with our support staff to listen, pay attention, try to course correct any of these opportunities as that feedback continues to go in. So I do appreciate it. Continue to provide that feedback to us. We want to hear from you. It's the only way that I'm going to be able to make this better.
Yeah. So you just mentioned TNC license. So let's get the legalities out of the way. Does InDrive have a TNC license? Obviously they have to. And the second sticking point that we need to talk about is, obviously you're at Lyft, so about period 1, period 2, period 3. The commercial insurance situation. I'm very involved with these companies, so I listen to their conference calls continuously when their earnings come out. And both companies are complaining that commercial insurance rates that they provide, especially in period 3, are going through the roof, right? So those two questions are going to be important, because also the passengers are used to having that protection, right? So TNC license and commercial insurance. Let's talk a couple of minutes about those issues.
Yeah, let's do it. Do we have our TNC license? Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just part of the rules and regulations to get into the game and to make sure that we are a qualified competitor in this space. So it's very important. So yes to that. Also with that TNC regulation and license, you have to have the insurance. I saw on your show just a couple days ago, you went through and talked about our insurance and how you kind of already described period 1, period 2, and period 3. So that's in place both for the driver and the passenger's safety. So
is it on period 2 and 3 or just period 3? What run us through that real quick.
It's covered from period 1, period 2, and period 3.
Okay. And do you know what the deductible is on these policies?
I have it for sure. You saw the right from the app. I can pull it up. But,
no, it's okay. I mean, we know Uber and Lyft used to be less. Now they're 2,500. If it's something similar, I'm sure it's doable. So
it's similar.
Now that we covered the legalities, let's get to the fun part. Okay. So I'm in Miami, right? I'm like last week I was in Denver actually, and I used Uber and Lyft quite a bit. So I'm like, to me, the important thing is as a passenger are two things, right? And how fast can you pick me up? And how much is it going to cost me? Because an Uber car or driver or a Lyft is going to do the same thing for me. Pick up point A, drop off point B safely, hopefully. Although one of the cars should not have been on the platform, but it's okay. So here's the deal. So I'm in Miami. I turn my app on as a passenger. How does it work? Walk us through that.
So the same interface from trying to go to point A to point B. So same kind of rules apply as our competitors there. The difference is the passenger will initiate that conversation by saying how much they are willing to pay for this ride from point A to point B. So let's just use Miami International Airport. We're going to South Beach, I'm going to offer $20 for this ride. That goes out to all of the drivers within a certain radius. And so all the drivers are now seeing that Adam wants to go to South Beach. You got to pick him up at the airport. He's willing to do this ride for $20. And so from the driver, they can choose to accept and go into that conversation and go, you know what? Really, it's interesting to me, but if it was $25, I would do it. Okay. And the driver can sit there and put $25. It comes back to me. And it would say, all right, Sergio is willing to do this ride for $25. And then you can go back and forth if you choose. What's also interesting and what we have found is that since it's going out to all of the drivers, the passenger in this case is seeing all of the drivers who are willing to do the ride and what they're willing to pay. So I had 3 drivers that's willing to do it for 20. I have 1 that's willing to do it for 22, et cetera, et cetera. And you get to see the driver what kind of car they're in, and how far away are they from my pickup point. So as a passenger, I get to choose. Am I choosing somebody in a Chevy Suburban? Am I choosing somebody that's 2 minutes away from me? And you kind of get to play around with that experience just a little bit. So we found that that's amazingly fun, having the freedom of choice to be able to, choose your experience versus my previous experience of, you hit the app and you're just matched with the driver. You don't have any other choices. You don't have a choice of what the price is, etc. So it's completely built. This entire marketplace is completely built by the driver and the passenger in this case. So
Right.
we are not involved with it at all. And that's what makes it completely and utterly unique, because at the end of the day, for the driver, I want you to be able to do your ride with the value that you really should be paid fairly for the work and service that you are providing. And so I think that that's really critical and super important for me.
Yeah, I mean, let me just intercept here for a second. First of all, personally speaking, I think all rideshare drivers or gig workers are misclassified. That's my personal opinion. Okay, this seems to me really as close as you can get to an independent contractor reaction or initiation of an offer, rebuttal of the offer, going back and forth, right?
Yep.
Because if I called a plumber to my house and I offered him a job for 300, he can say no, but I can do it for 350, and then we agree and we get it done, right? To me,
Correct.
that is kind of almost, true independent contractorship, and I think drivers will enjoy that, right? And if you price yourself out of the system, you're not going to get chips. It's all up to you. So there is no algorithm, there is no gamification, there is no gamification, there is no bells and whistles. You no, and you move on, and then it is what it is, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, that's all. I think it's pretty cool. But here's the other thing that I'm trying to clarify for our audience and for whoever's going to watch it and listen on the podcast. Obviously, as you know from Lyft, there is Lyft Standard, Lyft Lux, and all these things, right? Do you have those broken down in the app? Like, if I wanted a black car, can I get a black car? Obviously, I have to pay more, or do I have a standard trip? Is there like different platforms within InDrive's app?
Yeah. So for right now, we have lots of testing to go. So right now for our Miami launch, we do have 2 vehicle classes that you can choose. And really, for me, I'm really thinking about, do you have a lot of people with you, and do you need a bigger car? And
Okay.
so instead of just kind of classifying everything out, luxury and all of the different classes that you can get with our competitors, we have a feature in there for, does a regular 4-seater work for you, or do you need something that's like a 6-seater? So right now, those are the 2 options that you can choose from. And as a driver, you get to choose your vehicle. You want to sit there and be on the platform and have the opportunity to sit there and kind of be in this marketplace. We welcome you for sure.
Okay.
Bring your luxury cars this way, if that's what you choose to do.
you-
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you can price yourself accordingly, I guess, right? So
You
that's more.
absolutely can.
Yeah, that's more freedom, actually. So, couple other questions. I'm hopeful that this is going to work out, because look, from what we see, and I've been a driver myself for the last 7.5 years. The earnings trend has not been, the driver's friend, and there's more bad news, and there's upfront pricing, and there's this recreate the wheel. We don't need miles and minutes. I mean, I'm like, come on, where is this going, right? But
Yeah.
one of the top complaints that we get, that I get hammered every single time I open my mouth about it, and actually reluctantly I'm about to write an article again, glutton for punishment that I am. It's about take rates. Okay. All right. So we know what's been happening to Uber and Lyft take rates, consistently going higher. Obviously initially VCs were throwing the money at them. They were losing money, but now they're public companies. They have to make money, right? I'm not going to ask you how InDrive is going to make money, but talk to me a little bit about commission rates and what you're offering currently. So.
Yeah. Look, ultimately, right now, for the first 6 months of our launch in South Florida, we're not charging the drivers any fee. So we're allowing them to take 100% of the ride fare, excluding airport fees and tolls.
Yeah.
So we are taking that out. So clearly, there's an advantage to sit there and drive with us at this moment in time. As we kind of look forward, are we going to take commission and have a service charge? Of course. But with us, we do have a very lean business model by, comparison to our competitors. We definitely rely on organic growth versus incentivized growth. Without incentivized models, we're able to kind of pull back in the upfront and let revenue kind of even out over time. So definitely kind of our strategy, both from a launch point of view, and then as I'm kind of thinking ahead, we have to sit there and have a competitive advantage of making sure that the drivers are bringing home more money, right?
Right.
Like that's what's really going to make us a player in this market. And so we're analyzing every single operational efficiency that is necessary, and making sure that we're being 100% transparent along the way.
Yeah.
Because I know all of the hidden stuff and conversation. I understand. So yeah. I don't want to play that game with both of you or anybody that is watching this going forward.
Yeah, I mean, transparency is something that's been lacking from the first day, right? So I don't see this. This is not rocket science. This is easy business. Pick up point A, drop off point B. Why do we need this? I mean, you can make it as complicated as you want, obviously, but it's not necessary. So one last question for you, and then I'll give you the floor to close, or give us your pitch. Is this a lot of drivers, right? Who I mean, there's going to be some pushback. They're going to say, okay, yeah, every company starts with a free app and it's free now, and then they're just like Uber and Lyft. Look, as a 7-8-year-old veteran driver, I have so much scar tissue that I cannot get enough plastic surgery to replace all that scar tissue. Okay, so I'm going like, yeah, this is all too good to be true, right? Or the app is so glitchy that it's never going to happen. All this and stuff, and I'm going like, what is, like, let's say, give me like an established market that you're in, right? So you said 650 cities. Take the top city that you're in and give us the take rates or what the commissions or the service fee is in those cities. I'm not saying it's going to be the same in the US, but something comparable, right?
Yeah, I appreciate that caveat. It's being in the marketplace here with the level of insurance and all of those particular costs, we have to be cognizant. Around the world, our average commission rate is 10% of the ride fare. So that's kind of the average across the board, across the entire globe as it stands right now.
And this includes commercial insurance.
This includes the insurance, and they're different in different countries. So I'm definitely not a subject matter expert there for sure.
Okay, drivers do. Let's say in the U.S., you're head of U.S. operations. In the U.S., do the drivers need special licensing? Do they need some sort of? Obviously, they have to go through a background check. We know that they upload their documents. Do they need any special licensing? But it means it may be city by city, state by state. But let's say you're in Miami now. So what does a driver in Miami who wants to sign up need to do, right? Other than download the app and upload the documents.
Download the app, upload the documents, pass a background check, go through all of the beginning parts of signing up to be an independent contractor for us. No special licensing, any of that other kind of stuff right now. But it probably will change from state to state, city to city, based on local regulations.
So give us also a little bit color, if you can, what the expansion plans are. I mean, Miami is just Miami, right? And then look, last quarter, Uber did 2.3 billion trips. I mean, I mean, if there's a market for it, you're going to take some share from these people. I'm pretty sure. But what is the expansion plans? What are the next cities? Because this week, I categorize my emails as to importance by the subject matter, right? Everybody was like, oh, is it coming here? Is it coming here? Is it coming to Vegas? Is it coming to LA? I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm going to ask the men. So you tell us what the expansion plans are.
Yeah. For me, we are currently evaluating all of these wonderful cities across the country. So let's put that first and foremost. We're definitely looking to expand and move outward. I don't think that I have the go ahead to announce our next city. We do have one, so I'll make sure that we send it along to you very, very soon, as long as I get the green light. But we're looking at our second city right now. So that's coming soon, next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. It's coming. We're coming.
We definitely will. And I'll give you, we have, I'm sure we took more time than you have probably, but in closing, if there's anything you want to add that I didn't ask you, or clarify something that you have, please, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
At the end of the day, I realize in this ride sharing space that the drivers are very, very important to making this thing work. So being cognizant of the driver's needs, your expectations, the things that you're looking for with doing this kind of work, because you guys are doing the work, you're putting in the time, you're putting in the miles, you're making it happen, and you're making it easy for me to get from point A to point B very, very quickly. So I'm very appreciative of the drivers out there. And so I look forward to hearing your feedback, answering your questions, and making sure that I continue to build something that is good for everybody. So that's my goal.
Great. So again, much appreciated. Thank you for showing up. You're traveling, safe travels. Let's keep in touch, really. And I'll send you my resume. But all kidding aside, is like I think there is, as a first P2P rideshare system in the country that we know of. Obviously, other types exist around the globe, but I think you guys are onto something. I mean, there are many other companies that we talk about, but this may be the one that I think we're going to follow really, really closely and educate and inform our crowd, as we usually do. But again, thank you so much for coming up. Again, we'll keep in touch. Let us know. We'll keep it under embargo. We're used to getting news and keeping it hush hush. So we'll all right, let's keep in touch, and come on again for another update.
Love it, gentlemen. I appreciate you guys very much.
Thank you, Adam.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club, with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.